The more you try to keep me down and keep my head above the water, you can never hold me down. The more you try to block me out, that's where I kick the wall down. You can never hold me back. The more you try to put me out, the more I'll be blazing, it's too hot. The more you try to put me in the dirt, increase my work, the expert. You see the hunger in the eyes of a survivor. Swallowed my pride, washed down with some saliva. Reinvented my whole life, mental MacGyver. One door shut, another open up wider. Listen, battle drums in the distance, moving with enough force like army tank pistons. Pray for the strength of Jah to fight resistance. Fight mode, shields up, moving with resilience.
The strength of 1,000 lion and the strength of 1,000 giant. Please stay strong. Please stay strong. With the strength of 1,000 elephant and the strength of 1,000 tiger, we stay strong. We stay strong.
Hey everybody, it's Casey with Pinecase. This is the podcast, and you know what? Skyler Ray's hanging out with us, so we can actually do like the duo thing with the like music is our drug of choice thing. Welcome always. The door is always wide open. Listen, I just had the weirdest experience happen to me while we were watching that intro video. You know, at the beginning when you're like, okay, I'm just going to share this out for a second, right? Like I'm going to share it out to a couple of groups, whatever, no big deal. I don't always do that, but tonight I was like, yeah, let me get this real quick. And so I started going down the list, and then it was like, you've maxed out. So I'm like, oh shit, I got to like run back to the top, undo a couple of these. I'm like, all right, some of these community ones, not a big deal. Get back down the list, hit like Scar Nation or something. Nope, too many. I'm like, what? Go back up. I'm like, I gotta at least get to like My Fight Our War. You know what I mean? Like, this is wild. Yeah. And it hit me. I'm like, there are so many cool people doing amazing things in the recovery community that we hit 10 absolutely gangster groups like immediately.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
shout out to everybody.
That's
yeah. Right? Like, what a
now there's so many beautiful recovery people that are doing things in groups that are inspiring, which is a network of people who just have hope to want to do better, right? We're all in it, and we've all walked through the fire and won the other side. So shout out to anybody who is in recovery. I don't care if you got an hour, a day, a month, years, like shout out to you. You're doing your thing. Congratulations. So
yeah, absolutely. And tonight when when I wanted to have you on, I was like, I really want to hit kind of the early recovery stuff because it's lovely once you get through all of it. And it's great once you kind of start looking at like the long-term goals. You know, we were talking about the animals that we own and all that cool stuff. That's really great when you're there, but it hasn't always looked or felt or been as glamorous and comfortable as it is maybe today or yesterday. And I think it's really, you know, it's really important to kind of hit on like the testament that's happened to get some of us to this great point. I mean, I seen you the other day hanging out with Patrick Ryan. You got yourself a skateboard. I was like a little jealous.
Yeah, it's in the studio right now. Yeah, I gotta hang it up in the studio. So
damn.
Yes,
That's so freaking cool because when I seen him originally, way before his podcast and all that stuff, you know, that was another one that just like hit the ground and was not messing around. So, you know, it's clear that anybody, not that he's a testament that anybody can do it, but it's cool when you see people who are in it and they're like, listen, I'm going to grind out, show everybody what's good. You know, we got people in the comments. Tyler's another one of them. King Handsome's another one of them. Like we see them. I don't want to say all over the place.
No, it's really inspiring. It truly is to be able to see, you know, someone climb from the bottom and make it where they're at. But also there's such fire that burns. Like you guys, if anybody's watching, you guys know what I'm talking about. Those ones that, you know, not to discredit anybody, but there's ones that really get rocking and rolling and just got that fire under them and they're pushing, they're inspiring, they're constantly trying to take it to the next level. And yeah, Ryan's one of them, man. I'm super excited. He got me that skateboard. I was really excited for it. It was funny because I sent it in the group to my buddy King Handsome and AC, and he must have hit it with like AI or something. So it had me like on that half pipe. And it was funny because I posted it. I thought it was so funny. And a couple people thought it was real. I felt bad because Ryan's like, oh, bro, mad respect. He's like, you really went up on the half pipe? And I was, bro, even more respect for you. And I was like, little hit him with the sad face, and I was like, "Can I be honest with you, bro?" He's like, "What?" I was like, "My homeboy just made that." I felt so bad because he was so pumped. He's like, "Bro, really? You did that?" And I was like, "No, I didn't." And he's like, "Still much respect." I was like, "Okay, hopefully still the same." But he's
That
good people. He's good people. And,
yeah.
I have it hanging up in my studio right now. I'm looking at it. That's why I keep looking over.
Mm.
But it's just really cool because it was like I came on his thing and he sent me a skateboard and I told him, he's like, "Would you ride it?" I was like, "I've never rode a skateboard." He's like, "Okay, I'm just gonna send you the deck then." I was like, "That works. I'll have it
Cool.
up in the studio." It's kind of just like a testament of when I look at it, I see somebody else who is inspiring to chase their dreams and live it. And therefore it pushes me. I like to have inspiring stuff in my studio. What you guys are looking outside the booth right now.
Right.
So like over there, I got like, like my stuff from like the Eminem concerts, all this different stuff. I got posters up here. I got plaques up top and awards. I got achievements over there hanging up on the wall, show posters. I even got my vision boards on the back of the door right there of all the goals I want to accomplish this year. I got a calendar hanging up, and in the calendar, it's from 2 years ago, but I got it hanging up because, when I decided I wanted a bulldog, I wanted my bulldog to look just like that, and
Yeah.
I was actually gifted a free bulldog. I just had to go out to Milwaukee, Wisconsin to get it. And the bulldog that was being given to me for free looks exactly like this bulldog that's hanging up on the calendar.
Wow.
And so it's like for years I was like, that's what I want is a
Yeah.
chocolate bulldog with the white paws and a little bit of white face and even has the same white stripe going up. So it's crazy because I didn't pick that bulldog out. The
Right.
breeder literally he was like, if you want a bulldog, I know you got to travel. It's going to cost you thousands to get out here, travel and back. Come and
Yeah.
get it. This dog is yours. And I got it, and that was what it looks like. And so, like, I like to put inspiring things over me because this world is hard. And like you said, I'm always looking for things that push me when I don't think I have it in me. And so to look around and see accomplishments or show posters that I was a part of, or like awards or plaques for like a certain amount of streams and things like that, I'm like, that's what gets me in the mood, or at least tells me you've done it before, you can do it again.
I
And I think that's
totally.
important.
Vision boards
So
are wild. I like people underestimate the power of them. I'm somebody that rocks them all the time. I had a wild experience this one time. I was told by a teacher he kind of pushed the law of attraction on us and the
yeah,
secret and all that good stuff. And like that was really cool. But years later when I opened up my laptop and I had all the things there, I was like, that really is my house right now. Like that really is
yeah,
the view from my house right now. That really is like the point at the front of my house. That's the car. Like that's the color of the car. And like things kind of lined up. And I never really played with it after that. I was like, okay, this
yeah.
really is something like you really need to bring that in your life and it'll bring things into your life that look just like that. So yeah, you guys go
And
get your vision boards, man. Get
you
you
gotta get
started.
vision boards. And when we get on the early, like what my early recovery looked like,
I was
vision
just
boards
gonna
is
say,
a major part of that right there.
yeah.
Um, it's incredible. It keeps me focused. I need to be better at my vision board. Uh,
Hmm.
I think I have some throughout the house, but when I first got out and I was like in this little living situation where you got got your own room and things like that, it's your own housing. It's like a studio apartment, right?
Hmm.
Shared bathrooms out in the hall and stuff. I had vision boards all along my wall, so like no matter where you're at, you can see them. And I was so hungry that I was just like, "Bow, bow, doing this." Like I became obsessed with checking off stuff. Which I wish I was still that way. I need to get back into it. But I still keep them around. It's nice to know what I got to do. Or sometimes when I'm bored, I'll look at my vision board and be like, "Oh yeah, that is a goal of mine."
Right.
Yeah, no wonder why I feel like I'm slacking today. I haven't touched that goal for months.
I gotta get me a Lamborghini. Yeah.
Yeah, where's it at? Where's it at?
Right, right. Oh, that's yeah. At the dealership waiting for a sponsorship, man. That's it. That's all.
You
It's no big deal. That's so fun. I
said what?
remember I said it's just at the dealership waiting for a sponsorship. It's no big deal.
Yeah, yeah. Will come. It will come. You just gotta be patient. You know what vehicle I really want? I never been a car person. I've never been I don't know. I've never really been a car person, but one vehicle I definitely want is a Hummer.
Mm,
I don't know why. That's the only car that's ever been attractive to me. I don't know.
really?
I just feel like it looks bossy. You know what I'm saying? I just want
Yeah.
to be in there with like my English bulldog. We're mobbing. It's a hot day. Maybe have the doors off, and I'm just eating hot Cheetos. I'm feeding her beef jerky sticks on the red light. Like, you know
Oh
what?
my
There is
god.
some good tunes going. That would be my dream vehicle. Just me and my bulldog. We just mobbing through the town, tearing shit up. I'm hopping out little
Yes.
as hell. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm looking at least 6'3". I'm gonna have the seat jacked up, and then when I hop
Yeah.
out and hit the ground, and I'm
Got
5'5",
you a
you know what
ladder
I'm
and
saying?
shit.
Yeah, you be like, damn, he big as hell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Talking crap till you have to get out and you have to hop down.
Love that so much. Oh my
Yes,
god, that's so
indeed.
good. That's
Uh,
so good. Speaking of hot Cheetos, listen, I went to the grocery store not long before we hopped on here, and the chick at the till 100% was just chilling, eating like not the hot Cheetos, but the Cheetos like the hard one. You know what I mean, like the semi
yeah,
hard
yeah.
one, and she was dipping it in dill hella good dill sauce, and I was like, "Girl, are you on the clock? Like, what is going on here?" She's like, "You want one?" And I'm like, "Wait, what?" What? Like, I don't know why that seems so crazy to me. I took it obviously because,
Yeah,
why
yeah,
not?
yeah, of course.
You gotta share in this experience with her, whatever. It was delicious, by the way. So you guys need to go out and try
Was
it. It
it?
was so good. Yeah, it was so good. I mean, maybe just because I was hungry and I was at the grocery store and I hadn't gotten into like, I went there not knowing what I was gonna get and stuff. So, but it was weird. And the only reason why I bring this up is because it's amazing. Like, first of all, Cheetos are delicious, but also like these experiences that we have where you're finally like engaged enough in life to be comfortable in that way, to kick it with people
Yeah.
like that. It took me a long time to get there in that space. Like,
Yeah.
I spent so much time sitting in the car waiting for things to happen, thinking that it was going to be cool, not really sure, spraying weird perfume, you know what I mean? Pulling back out, going around the block a couple more times, parking back in, checking my account, like doing all this stuff. And like today, I was like, walked in there. She's like, "Hey, you want this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want this." Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Go on a little web. Like,
I get that.
dang, that's so nice. Is this regular people stuff? This is so nice. First of all, why are you eating Cheetos at your like till? But that's cool. Like, let me get one of those or whatever.
Yeah, let me get some. You know what's crazy is, first of all, never go to a grocery store hungry if you haven't eaten,
Right.
because then you buy all types of shit you don't need. You buying all
Yeah.
types of things.
I did.
Made that mistake a few times, and I'm loading up on stuff I shouldn't be eating, and I was like, "Oh, I need to eat today." So I'm just rolling down the little aisles. I'm like, "Ooh, this looks good. This looks good." I'm like, usually I'm focused and have a list, you know.
Right,
Um,
right.
but no, you know what's crazy though is hot Cheetos is one of my favorite chips, but I don't like
Okay.
regular Cheetos. I do not like regular Cheetos. If it's just regular cheese, the only ones I could somewhat eat is like the big puff ones.
Jalapeno? Oh, wait, what?
No, I don't even like the jalapeno ones.
Really?
It needs to be hot Cheetos.
Weird.
I
Okay.
don't know what it is. I even tear up that cheap ass hot Cheeto mac and cheese.
Really?
Have you ever had
Yeah, I
that?
don't. Yeah, I mean, my last dude had like face tattoos and shit, right? Like, I don't know if everybody knows that, but yeah, we've been down that road, cutting up hot dogs. I mean, I like we used to eat that before it was like in a box with a label on it, right? Like we've
Yeah,
been doing that for a minute. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's funny because my kid's like, we gotta get this, we gotta get this. I'm like, yeah, you ate that about 4 years ago before it was like branded in a box. We could try it again, sure.
oh, jeez.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
that
I
crazy
don't
thing.
know. Yeah, absolutely. No, life is good. I appreciate you coming on here like always. I appreciate you, walking through this little bit of like maybe not pre, but like early recovery stuff.
Mhm.
Vision boards is one of those things. PB and J's is another one of those things. Speaking of food, the PB and
Yeah.
J's all day is another thing. And the other part that has kind of obviously we got to be like a little bit delicate because we run our warm line, but the one thing that's kind of come up a lot lately, and maybe it's the springtime, I'm not really sure what it has to, if it's the weather or people trying to get it together or whatever, but man, was I reminded of the controversy that comes along with the transition between detox beds
Mhm.
and rehab, and the
Yeah.
time that it takes to get from one to the other. And so I was curious to know, like, did you have that experience? I don't remember if I asked you that last time, what that
No,
experience looked like for you.
um, no, I got clean in prison, and
Mm,
honestly, I've
right.
never my drug of choice was meth, so I never really went through the detox phase. The detox just meant I slept for 5 days. That was mine. So I've never went through the pain. I've never went through like any of the sweats or the scritchings or so I've kind of
Right.
lucked out with my drug of choice. I know people
Right.
suffer tremendously with that, right? I know a
Mhm.
lot of people go through a lot of pain. Mine was just always sleeping. I was just upset 'cause I realized that no one got me up for a meal while I was locked up, and I was like, "Damn." I'm like, "Is it lunch?" They're like, "Nah, it's breakfast." I'm like, "It's been a whole day already?" I'm like, "Cool, cool." And then I was like, "When is it?" They're like, 10 minutes. And so I lay back down, I fall back asleep, then it's like dinner again. And I'm like, "Damn, how did I miss breakfast
Wait.
and lunch?" So I would go back in for days and just sleep for days and then finally eat like day 3 when I had enough strength to get up
Yeah.
um, that was normally mine. But I got clean in prison. So or jail and then prison. So like I never really had to do any of that. I've done treatment a few times. But there was never that detox phase.
Damn.
Um, so
Because some people say that it's like as maybe not as tough as like opiates, but I've heard people that like I mean, I've watched it and it did not look nice. Like maybe they weren't being
yeah.
totally truthful, but I'm curious, does anybody in the comments have gone like who can also like back up what you're saying? Because for some reason I was thinking like, I mean, you didn't sweat nothing.
I've had heard people say with meth that
Okay.
they've had pains and all types of stuff. Maybe I was so tired I slept through it all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know
totally.
what I'm saying? Because I wasn't
Yeah,
awake. I wasn't awake.
yeah.
I felt tired and fatigued, but I've never experienced because I've had somebody tell me they've experienced withdrawals through meth, and I looked at them like they were just like an alien. I was
Right.
like, "What?" I was like, "No, you just sleep." They're like, "No, I go through this and that," and explain it, and I was like, "That's crazy. I don't know what type of meth you be doing, but it
Yeah.
is, like, probably a thing. I probably just sleep so hard."
Mhm.
You know?
Mhm.
So, that's kinda the thing. I see Ryan in the comments, man. Shout out to Ryan. We're just talking about the board that you sent over. I appreciate you so much, my guy, seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. That's such a it's so beautiful. I remember seeing like when you first came out and made all those tags for everybody and you like had everybody's names and recovery influencer and he was like sending them around. He took the time to make those graphics and then to see like him come up with his name and his logo and then you kind of see we kind of seen it here and there and then all of a sudden one day it was just like boom on a fucking wall and he's
Yeah.
chilling on the couch. He's just like, let me tell you some shit. I was like,
That's
okay.
dope. That's
Okay.
dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Okay. Shout out to my man Ryan. I'm late to the party, but it's nice to meet you, bro. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
No,
wicked.
I would say like early on recovery what was definitely well, I wouldn't even know if I had like almost 2 years clean when I was locked up. But when I got out, I have vision boards, and last time I was on, we had that discussion, that revelation moment for me, where I made that promise to myself to do it, and the reason why I got clean and sober was for music. But when I got out, uh, I was out for I was in a clean and sober living. They'd give you a studio apartment. It's for people that have nowhere to go through Central City Concern. Shout out to them. They have a bunch of free housing downtown Portland, Oregon. And I was in this place called the Shoreline, and I was living there. And I had a what's it called? When you hold a reservation, I had a reservation, and my
Yep.
reservation was when I get out, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna have me a cigar. I'm gonna have me a nice drink.
Mm.
And I
Mhm.
told
Yeah.
myself that, and it was just something I look forward to because to me, like prison was like a rite of passage, like becoming a
Yep.
man, right? Been to jail a bunch
Totally.
of times, but like I know a lot of people have been through prison, and that was my thing. Definitely different thinking nowadays, right? But to me, that's what it was. And so, I had this thing, and when I got out, my buddy hit me, and I was picking up these notebooks that I couldn't bring from jail to prison that I wrote of music. I
Okay.
wrote a bunch of music in there, and I was like, "Where are you at?" And he's like, "I'm at the Red Apple," and that's like a tavern here in Portland. And I was like, "Okay." Bet I'll be right there. So I go out there, I head out there, I got my cigar, I'm smoking a cigar. I had me one drink like I said I would.
Mhm.
This was on December 5th, 2018. I got out November 30th, 2018. That's 2 days after my 28th birthday. And I'm there and I have this drink and I'm feeling good. I got my notebooks. I'm heading back. I got, I'm on the Max, which is the train that takes you through Portland, and I got my
Yeah.
headphones in. I'm listening to good music. I'm feeling good, and it's crazy because when you first get that drink, and you start to get kind of buzzed, right? Your lips start to get a little
Totally.
numb, and I'm feeling it, and I'm like, "Ooh, I'm a little toasty right now," and I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
I'm hip hopping to some music I haven't heard for years, because now I got the internet, right? I'm mobbing back, and I'm thinking to myself, right? I got the keys to my own apartment, right? But I'm thinking to myself, the only thing that you have to do is be able to pass a UA, and they'll pop it on you normal. No drinking, no smoking, no nothing. And I
Okay.
remember heading back and I was like, damn, I don't want to get caught. And I was thinking, I was like, well, there's usually somebody at the front desk. And I was like, so if someone's at the front desk, the whole goal is I don't want them to say hi because I don't want them to know I'm drunk. I was
Mhm.
starting to get a little paranoid, with my
Right.
slur, my words. I don't know if he could smell it on me, but my lips are
Yep.
definitely numb.
Yeah, cheeks
Um,
are a little rosy. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I had me a
Mhm.
nice little AMF, a Long Island iced tea type situation.
Yep.
So I
Which
was
has got
toasted.
all the booze in it, by the way.
Yes,
Like
all the booze, right? Though you drink 2 of
yeah.
those, you are gone, right?
Yeah,
So I'm
totally.
okay, so if he's at the front desk, I'll just smoke a cigarette, because I was smoking cigarettes at the time. I'll smoke a cigarette, and then as soon as he turns around or goes to do something in his office or pick up a call, I'll just walk right in and beeline it for the stairs.
Mhm.
Um, but I say I used the word sneak in my head,
Right.
and that's what set off all the alarms. And I and I
Yeah.
and I really paused myself in my train of thought and say, "Wait a second, sneak." If I'm sneaking, that
Yeah.
means I'm doing something I'm not supposed to be doing, which means
Yeah.
I could lose my apartment. If I lose my apartment, then I'm gonna be homeless. I already know how this tape plays out, all
Yeah.
over a drink. And I
Yeah.
told myself, and that I got to get it together, right? And it really hit me because days prior, I got out and I had my buddy, my buddy Felix, and it's crazy because when I got out, I was like, I'm not gonna use, I'm not stupid. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like
Right.
that was my like, I'm not gonna use, I'm not stupid. But I was going to hang out with him. I was going over there. He was still in the dope game. So I go over there. He's giving me jackets. He's giving me like phones. He's giving me like Dre beats, all this stuff. Because it's just
Yeah.
coming. He's like, "What you want?" And I was like, "Oh, let me get that." He's like, "Want the smartwatch?" I'm like, "Cool," because I ain't got nothing, right?
Right.
So I'm
Nothing. Yeah.
loading up all this gear that he bought, uh, and so I'm hanging out with him, but they're like mobbing around in the car with him. And I remember one night when I went back, I got scared, and so this was like 2 days prior. Mind you, I've only been out for like 5 or 6 days,
Man, the
you know.
wildest 5 days, right? Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and this is early recovery, right? Especially like out in the real world, right? And so I remember mobbing around with them, thinking that I'm okay because I'm not doing it. I remember they're all passing around like the glass pipe. They're all smoking meth, and
Mhm.
they go to pass it to me, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. Which I was pretty confident in not hitting it. I wasn't worried about relapsing. But what scared me was if that car gets popped,
Yeah.
I'm going back in because
Yeah.
no one's claiming the dope that's on the floor.
No.
All of us are getting taken in until someone like I don't know if someone's gonna tell. Like I only know Felix, I don't know the other cats. Like
Yeah.
what if someone decides to snitch and it's like on me or something? And I was like, my criminal record shows this is what I do. I
Totally.
do this. Just got out of prison. Like what are you even doing in the car?
Right.
I'm like
If
clear
you ain't doing
violation of
something.
yeah,
Totally.
and so, like, I
Yeah.
remember laying in bed thinking, "Damn, what the heck?" And I told myself, I was like, "I can't be kicking it with him." My train of thought was, as long as I'm not getting high, what am I doing wrong? And I was like, "Oh, but I'm kicking around everybody selling dope, getting high.
Yeah.
All it takes is one pullover, this is that, and it's a wrap for me." And so then when I had that drink and I was rolling home and I said the word sneak, I was like, yo, I gotta slow my roll because like it's getting out of control fast. Like, out at night kicking it with dope dealers, doing this, all because I want the Apple Watch or the brand new phone.
Need to get me
I
them
go
beats.
see hey, give me a few $100. I'm like, that's cool because I had like 40 cents in my name.
Yeah.
Hey, this is cool. I'm definitely, yep. You want me to come back tomorrow? I will be there, Felix.
Sure.
Like I got you, so with that being said, I remember going back and I got upstairs and as you're paranoid, somebody's gonna like knock on the door or something. And so like I really took it seriously, that conversation that I talked about last time I was on the podcast about why I got clean and what it was for my music.
Yeah.
I didn't get clean to be in recovery. I thought it was corny. Meetings, well, nope, not doing that. That's a punishment. You don't sign it, or you don't get your slip signed, you go to jail. Like, why would I want to do that on my own? Everybody in recovery is corny. I'm not trying to do that. So then that's what like goes back to what my logo stands for, because I got clean from my music, and therefore music being gave me another chance at life because it got me clean, right? And then long enough, I start seeing the rewards of recovery. And therefore, like, my life changed, and now things I have in my life I refuse to give up on. And that's what pushes me through the next day. So without music, I may have never found recovery, because that was the only thing I love more than getting high is music. And so I sat back in my bed, and this was December 5th, 2018. Then I told myself, I was like, look, if I'm going to do it, I got to be 100% honest. I got to really play the tape forward. And so my clean date is December 6th, 2018. Haven't had a substance, anything like that. Yes, I have my coffee, my coffee
Yeah.
and my nicotine. But other than
Right.
that,
Totally.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing any drugs or things like that. But that's what really set me straight, is that I was scared. And I told myself, like, look, you had your drink. That was your reservation. And you got lucky. You didn't get in trouble. Like, it's time to, like, that whole conversation you had in prison. It's time to net up. It is
Yeah.
time to get it together. It is time to really push for these dreams. And that is when I went out and got those vision boards the very next day,
Yeah. Yeah.
and started aligning my wall with them, because I was like, yo, it's time to get serious. Because like those 5-6 days were a whirlwind. And so like that's really like a lot of, just being honest with myself. And from there, I really try to stay focused. I had a bunch of vision boards. I'm not sure if I talked about this on the last one or broke it down. Did I?
Well, I
The
don't know
vision
if we got
boards on the
like
last.
we, you did a little bit, but I want to touch on it more because I think it's really important to remind everybody, like, if you guys are out there struggling and you've been out there for a minute and you get comfortable in your recovery or sobriety or whatever that looks like, sometimes you just got to bring it back to the basics. Like, run the basics, man. Like, they work, and they work for a reason. It doesn't have to be AA or NA or Wellbriety or any of those
Yeah.
things. Like, just do the things that work for you in the first place. And the vision boards are a great one. Journaling is another one. Going out, getting those walks, surrounding yourselves with good people. I think it's really interesting that you jumped out and went back to the people that because that's comfort. And
Yeah,
it's why wouldn't you, really, right? Like,
that's
I
my
did the
boy. You
same
know what I'm
thing.
saying? Why am
Yeah.
I not gonna go?
Yeah,
You know?
totally. And I did something really similar. I went back to like the exact place that I knew that I would be welcomed at. And it was similar for me because I sat there and I was like looking around, and it took me a couple extra days and that to kind of figure out that that was not what it was going to be for the rest of my life, right? And so I had a
Right.
similar trajectory as you, because it wasn't necessarily about the recovery as much as it was about the life that I was going to live outside of this stuff. And then once I kind of figured out what the life was going to look like, then everything else just kind of fell at the wayside anyways, because you're not going to fill it up with that shit. You don't have time for any of that nonsense, or
Absolutely.
the people, you're allowed to love them from afar, but like, I'm not about to like sit in the back seat making full stops because other people got warrants and shit. Like, we're not here for that right now,
Yeah.
like, no, 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 no,
Huge.
no.
It's huge. I had to make the own decision with one of my family members. I was gonna go see him, and it's my brother. And I remember being over there, and it was like a trap hotel. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? But like, I go over there, and like the very first few times I went over there, like I'd bring food over, like for so we could eat. We
Yeah.
play video games all the time, because it's like my brother's done like 13 years, 12 years in like hard time.
Man.
And so it's like we don't have a relationship as adults. Like, we were in foster care, separated there, and then we got placed the same home, and then we drifted off. And then so by the time I was like 14, he's 4 years older, he was in prison.
Yeah.
And so like with that, it's like, I was going over there to hang out with him, and like I knew he was using, you know,
Hmm.
um and doing his thing, right? But we got a chance to play video games. So like, Kayla would drop me off, and I'd go hang out for like 4 or 5 hours, play video games. She'd pick me up. And then I would do this once a week. And then after like a month and a half, like probably like after like a month, Then I'd go over there and there'd be like 6, 7 people over there hanging out in the hotel room. You know, I went to the bathroom, came out, like my colognes got missing, like which I didn't even notice till
Yeah.
I got home. You know what I'm saying? Certain things missing out my backpack
Mhm.
and it's like, damn, but it's like the focus kind of shifted. And then like everybody's kind of getting high in the room and I'm sober. So it was like, all right, I'm kicking it. And then it kind of hit me when I'd go visit him. And then shortly, like after a couple more weeks, I'd go visit him and he wouldn't be there. And he's like, oh, you could just go in, like, because he knew like the owner of the hotel, which whatever their dynamic is, right?
Yeah.
It's a little trap hotel. So the owner of the guy, he would come let me in and like give me a card. So when I went there, he knew I could
Okay.
get out.
It's always like an
And
Asian dude. We used to have this place called May May's back home, and it was like wild in there. Like I remember like the first time that, you know, because we all knew about May May's and like that was cool. But once you actually end up there on your own accord, you know you've made some like left turns somewhere along the way, right? Like it's like, you know, we all know the spot, but once you're there because you want to be there, it's like shit, okay, hold on a second. He's got all the old
yeah,
school keys because there's no like, you know, there's no technology anywhere in this place, right? They're still about to like scan your whole credit card and shit. Like, yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, you know, I was going there and this is kind of maybe like 2 years sober, 1 year sober, so kind of like early recovery. See, I'm still
Hmm.
making tough choices, and it's like you said, not seeing my brother wasn't a dumb choice, but the situation I put myself in, and like you said,
Yeah.
it's important to love people from a distance if you got to, right? Because you put yourself priority these days, and so like I started going there, and then after like a couple months, like, the manager would let me in or the owner of the motel, whatever, dude, his name whoever
Hmm.
he would let
Yeah.
me in. I'm just sitting in there, and then my brother would come back, and I was like, "I got food, it's cold, though," you know, and he's like, "Oh, no worries," and he's like, "I'll just take it with me," and he'll be gone
Yeah.
after, like, 5 minutes, and I'm like, I'm literally at this motel room by myself for, like, 5
Hmm.
hours just be and he stops in for, like, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm like, "Why am I in here with there's drugs in
Yeah.
here, there's drug paraphernalia." Like, what if they come raid it and I'm in the motel room by myself like, "Oh, it wasn't me." You
No,
know, like,
sorry,
what do
officer.
you
I have
do?
no idea.
I just get dropped. I'm in recovery, I just got dropped off to play video games. Okay. You know, because it's like, I'm not gonna give up my brother, so it's like, who do I take the fall? What's happening here? And I was like, "Well, I don't have to give
Damn.
up my brother, and I don't have to take the fall myself. I just
Right.
don't gotta be in that motel." And so,
No.
like, it became the thing, it was like, "Hey, I'm in the area if you want, like, if you wanna come outside, I'll bring you some food." You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It kinda went to
Yeah.
that, and then it kinda just became less seeing them, which is okay. It is what it is, but yeah, like, early recovery, you make these, you know, make these you don't have your boundaries. You don't have your boundaries
No.
and you start allowing things because you think I'm not going to get high. Like I was confident I'm not going to get high. Like, you know, I'm very fortunate. There's not many times in my 6 years of recovery that I have felt triggered,
Right.
you know? Or the times that I did, like it's never like, "Oh, I got to have that." Which is crazy because like, you know, the only time I've
Yeah.
really been triggered in my recovery is when I'm somewhere on the beach and it's hot and I
Really?
think, "Damn, I would love a margarita." You know?
Oh, okay, okay,
You
fair.
know, it's hot, you got the white sand beaches. Shout out to Nikki, I seen Nikki, love you,
Yeah,
girl.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, but I'm there, and that's the only times I've ever felt triggered, like, that would be so nice right now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And then slowly it creeps up, and you gotta shut it down because it slowly creeps up, and I thought to myself, "Well, I'm all the way in Miami, ain't nobody know me over here." And I was like,
No.
"Well, wait, I'm breaking a lot of trust, there's a lot of people that look up to me." You know? And so, like, it's all, like, a quick little 10-second conversation, but, like, I'm very blessed. I don't know, like, I know a lot of people get triggered, and maybe I put myself in situations where it just hasn't really happened to me, because you know, I do music, I tour. I'm around
Yeah.
people getting high not all the time, that sounds crazy, but I
But
have been
it's
in
like
situations where people are partying. I'm at clubs
mhm,
performing, you know, people are doing coke, people are smoking. You enter in the club, it smells like weed outside, like, everybody's
totally.
getting drunk, you're at the club, you know, but,
Mhm.
I don't know. I just know that my dreams mean more than a temporary feeling, and, you know, one thing that really gets me through the day is I tell myself, "Not
Wait,
today.
wait, wait.
Today, I'm gonna do good," and nowhere go ahead.
No, no, I was like, wait, because you cut out for a second. I was like, no, we need to know what you tell yourself. Like, we need to know
Oh,
these
oh,
things because there's people out here really like being triggered by
yeah.
things, and like they need to like, if they need to grab a pen and write some of this stuff down, right? Like for real. But yeah, no, sorry, go ahead. You're back. So, what do you tell yourself?
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, yeah. And stop me if it starts glitching up because I've seen you glitch up a
Mm-hmm.
little bit as well. So just let me
Okay.
know. Let me know. But no, it's like I tell myself not today. I like everything that I have going for me is not worth losing over a temporary feeling. Not only would there be like a lot of trust ruined, but I'm an addict, so I know it ain't just a one-time thing.
Right.
I get away with it one time. I'm gonna start trying to get away with it more often. I'm gonna
Mhm.
start making excuses. So, like I said, I tell myself not today, not in the near future, and I really do take it day by day. Um, because I think about it, it's like, I would love to sell. Of course, it's the addict in me. Listen to this. It's the addict in me. I would love to sell the country or sell the world and
Yeah,
in my 60s or 50s, 70s, whatever, and have some drinks. You
totally.
know what I'm saying? And like see
Hmm.
stuff like that sounds so appealing to me, but I also have to realize, that's the addict in me telling me that. And so I don't ever want to say never that I won't do something again, but I
Hmm.
can say not today. And so that's what
Totally.
I really try to live by is one day at a time.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. I actually think it's really healthy to think in both of those ways. Like I think it's really healthy to be like, I also I mean, when I signed off on the paperwork for my business, I had a glass of
Mm,
scotch because I felt like it. And
yeah.
I don't know. I guess maybe it's a culture thing. Maybe it's like a business thing. I don't know. And maybe I shouldn't allow myself that because I don't have to like jump in just because other people do it or whatever. Um, but I mean, that was that, and then I moved on, and I think that it's kind of important to if you see yourself in the future successfully having a sip and then being able to be okay with that, then to
Yeah.
take it one day at a time, but to have realistic like goals and trying to find a way to navigate having a healthy relationship with some of these substances
Yes.
or whatever is also not necessarily a bad thing. And I think that, that's something neither of us are heavy AA people, so maybe it's an easier conversation to have, but I don't necessarily think that absentee is always the way to go. I do appreciate
Mm.
you saying though that today is today, tomorrow's tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't have to think like that. That is an addict's mentality. I can have all sorts of fun on the beach without having a margarita. I can sit with people
Yeah.
and be old and be like, gray hair, living my best life
We just
and
need to
not have
crack
to
a
have
root beer and get some Doritos on
yeah.
board. We good.
Yeah, exactly. Some flaming hot Cheetos were cool. Like that's cool too. So I appreciate you
Yeah,
being honest about that because
of
it's a tough
course.
one.
Of course. I always try to be transparent. I have all I have is my life experiences and all I have
Hmm.
is, knowledge about my life. And
Yeah.
I'm always honest. I'm always honest, and that's one way I like to be able to express myself is, if I'm scared, if I feel fear, if whatever my thoughts are, because I think there's a lot to learn with that. And I think by being honest and realistic, open and out loud, I think it will inspire others to do so as well. And it might
Absolutely.
start to create a slow shift, you know.
Yeah.
But most importantly, it works for me, and it's what makes me happy is being honest.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. And also, I mean, not to bring it back to like early recovery, but we've just spent a whole bunch of time trying to find a way to manipulate the system and make things work for us.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that you are an unhonest addict. I'm just saying that,
Mhm.
like, sometimes those things go hand in hand. And I think that to really be transparent and honest and open, not only does it save people's lives actually, but it also like it's a good thing to work at every single day. Because I mean, in my early situation, like there was things that I would be not scheming, but like trying to manipulate for like absolutely no reason other than that's what's worked in the past. Like, okay, but there's like a shortcut way to get there. And like, if I just don't
Yeah.
tell the whole story, then, it's not going to hurt anybody or like, we'll let people in on the backside. No big deal. And so I think like really practicing being transparent and honest is massive.
I think it is. I think it is. I mean, even today, I catch myself not giving like the full story, leaving some things out to my benefit. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Or to
Yep.
make me look right in situations,
Hmm.
and it's like or to downplay my part in things. There's a lot of behaviors I still got to fix and work on. But I truly do believe sitting with the uncomfortableness, and I definitely try that. I'm not perfect, but it is something that I think about often and try to apply to my life. I'm a lot better person than I was in my early recovery. Not saying I was a dirtbag or anything like that, but just the way I handled things. I was a lot more. I didn't know how to control my emotions. Um, when I crash out, it looked a little bit different. Also on top of that, like I also have learned that, not everything needs a response right away, and it's okay to sit back and give the situation time to breathe.
My God, like say it louder for the people in the back. The amount of times that I want to just be like, it's cool, man. Like,
Yeah.
not only do they deserve it, but you also deserve that little bit of space. It's not a huge deal. Like,
Yeah.
and and it's easy to be like, I deserve to take the time to really think about it. But the people actually deserve you to take the time to give them the response that they deserve, whether it
Yeah.
be like, just a DM or a song or whatever. Like, no, I respect that too. I'm going to hit them with this. Listen, I don't really talk about my personal life very often. I've been getting a little bit more comfortable with it, but today I was headed to the horses and Skyler threw this track at me, which I've actually heard before. I don't know why. Yeah, listen, I don't know why it hit me the way it did. But there was something. We're gonna do it without the video. Actually, I'm gonna throw up our warm line so people can write the number down and get comfortable with the number and go ahead and use it or whatever they need to do after the show. But I really want you guys to like turn your speakers up and listen to what he says because it caught me. Again, transparency, right?
Yeah.
Like, thank you for making this song. So you guys go ahead and actually, you know what? I'm just going to take my time and do this properly because it deserves the space in the breathing room.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pop up the picture. There we go. Okay. Yeah. And then we're going to turn on some tunes. So Skyler, I'll see you in a few seconds.
Yes, indeed.
Why do I hate myself? And why do I blame myself? Why am I afraid of myself? It's not your fault, it's not your fault. So why do I blame myself? And why do I hate myself? And why am I afraid of myself? It's not your fault, it's not your fault. I've been dealing with a lot of shit in my past. Looking at my hometown late when I drive past. Lately I've been dealing with a lot, think I might crash. I feel like I'm trying to get better, but what if I can? What if I can never escape? What if I keep dealing with this trauma and I can't get away? What if I keep making all these songs and you never relate? It's like I knew it all along, I can never be great. Sometimes I don't really want to be here. It's at the worst time, so we never see clear. A lot of people that I love want to teach fair. A lot of people want to lie and say we care. I need to write just like I need to breathe air. I think I might leave here, I feel like I hate myself some days. I wish that I could erase myself. I hate myself. So I blame myself too much. Blame myself. And why do I hate myself? And why am I afraid of myself? It's not your fault, it's not your fault. So why do I blame myself?
Try not to panic, but growing up I was an addict. Here I sit in a hotel with a needle in my arm, god damn it, I can't stand it. I never meant to hurt you, but don't act like I planned it. Never meant to abandon, I ever let this happen. But I chose dope over rapping, and that's when it happened. My whole world snapped and the sky blackened. Went to reverse, I was trapped, couldn't sneak out the back end. Then it got worse, I was trapped in depression hits when I think about back then. Guess I need some help, I can't do it myself. And if I let you down, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to drown. I feel like I ain't myself. Some days I wish I could erase myself. I hate myself,
so
I blame myself too much.
Myself? And why do I hate myself? And why am I afraid of myself?
myself. It's not your fault, it's not your fault. So why do I blame myself? And why do I hate myself? And why am I afraid of myself? It's not your fault, it's not your fault.
So why do I blame myself? And why do I hate myself? And why am I afraid of myself? It's not your fault, it's not your fault.
I mean, really? Like, I don't have to tell you that. I don't have to tell you nothing. You already know. I mean, you obviously make this music. You think about what you're doing. Is there's so much intent behind it. You bring us in on the situation. You tell me a little bit about how this song came to be because obviously there's a lot happening with it.
No, absolutely. And I'll tell you how it came to be. But I do want to point out, like, music is my therapy.
Mhm.
Music is my meetings. I'm not a big meeting guy. I don't really go to meetings very often. I'll go to, like, if someone's asked me to come speak at it, or chair it, or if, one of my buddies is celebrating a milestone, I'll be there to show up and support. But other
Yeah.
than that, like, I'm not a big meeting guy. So I always put my feelings in my songs. Like, you know how many songs I write that I cry to? And there's songs where I put my heart and my soul to, and sometimes I'll hear it back and I'm like, that verse is crazy. And then I'm like, wait, that's my life. You know what I'm saying? I don't think
Right.
about it sometimes because I'm just
Right.
writing and I hear it back and I'm like, wait, like, because I get so engulfed in, like, the song and I'm like, hold on a second. That's what happened to me when I was a kid. And I was like, oh, because that's me, you know?
That's you,
Um,
man.
it's crazy. So I'm an emotional little guy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always crying when I'm writing music. That's my heart and soul. It's my therapy. It's where I feel safe. It's where I feel comfortable expressing who I am and what I'm afraid of. And I say it out loud and then I give it to the world. But this song came along. My buddy NK47, he's really talented. He's really good. And he's really popular, right? He's doing his thing. He has a bigger following than me. And
Okay.
I like kind of known about him. Then he, like, gave me a follow. I gave him a follow back. And I was on tour with Afro Man.
Mhm. So exciting. My
You
mom's
know what
gonna
I'm saying?
freak out.
And I
My
never I
like
never reached out to him to do a song or anything like that. Um, can you hear me good?
I can hear you good now. And I might have cut that out because I said my mom's gonna freak out when I tell her that I'm friends with somebody who toured with Afro Man. But anyways, keep going.
So look, I was on tour with him and
Mhm.
NK hit me. He's like, "Are you in?" We're in a town called Pendleton, Oregon, and he's like, "Are you in Pendleton tonight with Afro Man?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm opening up for him." And he's like, "Yo," he's like, "check it out. I'm with some family right now. Is there any way you can get some of my family members want to meet him? Is there any way you
Right.
can make that happen?" And I was like, "Yeah, just bring them through. I'll get them like VIP wristbands." They were going for like 100, but like I just went over to the promoters booking the show. Was like, "Hey, can we
Yeah.
give these people VIP wristbands so they can go back and meet them?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So he's like, "Yeah, bro." He's like, "I'll do a verse for you. Like, when you get back off tour, take a break, hit me up. I'll do a verse for you for doing this." And I was like, "Well, that
Yeah.
works." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I hit him up and followed up, and he came over, and we actually wrote the song here where I'm sitting. And we wrote it together. It was really cool because a lot of artists, at least the ones I work with, are really like cocky.
Right.
Not the ones I really work with aren't cocky, but a lot of artists are cocky that I run into. Are they're
Yep.
like very much like, this is my craft, my art. And so
Mhm.
the fact that, like, we were sitting there, we're not only bouncing ideas off each other, like, I thought it was really cool because he's like, he's like we're writing the song together, and he's like, what should I say right here? And like we're playing with some rhyming words, and he's like, can I use that? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead, and
Yeah.
then like the we repeat ourselves. Like, I came up with that. So I thought it was really cool someone at that level was willing to think that something I did was cool enough for him to use, And I was
Mm.
like, "Oh, that's kind of cute. It's neat." I was like, "I like
Yeah.
him. He's so nice, you know?" But yeah, so we did
That's
that song, but it's crazy because he was going through beats
Mhm.
and he was like, "Oh, which ones do you want?" Because he had some beats with like some hooks on it. What song do you want? And shout out to my woe, love you, dog. And we're
Yeah.
sitting there, we're listening through beats, and this song came on. The why do I blame myself? And I heard that, and I was like, oh my God, and I was like, play that through, and I was listening to it, and I was like, that's cool. And I really fell in love with it, just the voice.
Yeah.
And it was just a demo at the time, so it wasn't even that official recording. It was just a demo at the time he had.
Okay.
And then we're playing through beats, and he's like, which one you want? And he's like, and then I was like, what about this one? He's like, oh, you can have that. And I was like, for real? And so that's how it came along. We redid the hook, redid the verse. I dropped my verse on. The video came out, and last year we flew out to Phoenix, Arizona.
Mhm.
And I forgot the studio name, but we went out to a studio out there. I think it was One Take Studios. And they have all types of sets. They had like the
Okay,
hotel
cool.
set, drop set, the hospital set, everything like that. So that's how that came along. And like it all started with just on tour with Afroman. It's one of those things where it was like, because that was years ago, and
Yeah.
this song probably took a year and a half to come together, and then the video came like a year later. But so it was kind of just one of those random things. He's like, hey, can you make this work? I'm like, yep. He's like, I got a verse. Comes over, throws it on, and I fell in love with that right away. I like melancholy, whatever
Yeah.
the word is. I like
Yeah.
yeah. I love
Melancholy.
emotional music.
Yeah.
That's why I'm obsessed with Kevin Gates, because the emotion
Totally.
and like the singing behind it, and it's like if I could feel what you're saying, I love it. I love to listen to music and cry. It's my release. You know what I'm saying? So
I
if I could
completely
feel your
understand.
pain, like, and if a song makes me cry, like I'm listening to it 20, 30 times in a row. It doesn't even have to be a deep song. Some
No.
songs about like dreams or happiness, like I get in my feelings,
I love it so
I'm
much. I
emotional.
appreciate you for it so much. Like today,
Yeah.
it wasn't even a heavy day. Listen, like we're out here, we're training horses. We had a trajectory and a plan. We're like, okay, today we're gonna get on them. It's gonna be like this triumphant thing that we've been working towards. Like it was like happy vibes all day. The sun is shining, whatever. And you know what? There's moments in your life where like you're really comfortable with that person that's sitting next to you and you don't really have to think too much. But it's not always that way from the moment that you see them that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you not like, oh, you got to tell me what's going on, but just like we both had busy days all the way through. We both jump in a vehicle, whatever. Anyways, I see your email and I hit it, and it was like everything that had happened in our days leading up to that moment, like left.
Yeah.
And all we had right then was like each other and that song. And we both were just like, boom, like, whoa, wait a
That's
second.
crazy.
Run that back. And so,
Oh, geez.
yeah.
That's
Like it,
that's insane. Thank you for sharing that, because that's what I try to make music, not to make you cry, but
right.
like I try to make music that's relatable, because it's always a crazy thing, because people are like, man, I relate to that so much, and it's always hard to answer, because like people like the music because they could relate, but that means they've been through some shit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I don't want to be like, oh, that's cool, you can relate, because is it cool that they've been through some shit? Could
Oh,
be like,
listen, I've been having that moment, like trying to like Benjamin Lerner has got to be the hardest dude to like his stuff because I adore him so much. But I'm like, there's got to be some like ironic thing about liking this like heavy shit? Like, we need like a new button in the like part,
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
right? Because like obviously we all
It's
know.
crazy. I love Benjamin Lerner. Yeah.
Sorry, was I cutting out there?
No, he's a very much a pure soul. I think I paused, but it has
Okay.
been a little bit back and forth. But no, I think he's a very much a pure soul. I love him because he's different, and that's okay, and that's a good thing.
I
I think that's what makes him so beautiful.
He's an institution and he needs to be
Yeah.
protected. Like he's an institute, much like yourself. Actually, I feel quite similar, not for the same reasons, but I feel similar
Yeah.
in the way that I'm like, there's certain people out there that really are holding not only the knowledge but also the capacity to then push it back. Like it's
Yeah.
cool. It's not cool. It's tough that you go through that. It's crazy that people go through this. It's harsh reality to think that people can identify with this stuff because the lyrics and the content is absolutely heartbreaking. But there is
Yeah.
like keepers of there's keepers, and Benjamin Lerner is one of those keepers. He's a keeper
I agree.
of just the, I guess maybe not only the art form of the art of storytelling, but also like that part of our heart that, listen, we've talked about it before. Like Lance Rice is the only dude I ever seen putting out recovery content, back when I was trying to sort this thing out. And that was
Yeah.
not that long ago. I mean, you guys have been out here a minute for real, but like it was not that long ago. And so
Yeah.
the fact that you guys like dug your feet in and were like, I'm going to put my stories out there, and not only do that, but do it with articulation
Mhm.
and lyrics and beats and respect for each other and these collaborations. I mean, I know I speak for everybody when I say like we appreciate you for it,
Of
all
course.
of you
Thank you so
for
much.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just want people to win in life. I just want people to be happy and reach their potential. Um, I wish I could take away a lot of pain from people, and just give them a hug, and just let them know it's going to be okay, and that they are seen and they are heard, and that
Hmm.
even if they don't feel like it, they have value to offer.
Yeah.
I always see the beauty in people. I always see the beauty in people, and I people deserve to be happy. People
Yeah.
deserve a real chance, even if they mess up their real chance. Why can't they have another real chance?
Yeah.
This life is hard, and anybody who's ever shown love to my music or could relate, and ever shown love to me, thank you very much. From the bottom of my heart, I couldn't do this without you guys.
Yeah, I agree. Like, yeah, thank you to everybody. And also thank you to the people who, do the carrots and potatoes thing. Like, I don't say it enough. Like, be a neighbor to your neighbor. You just told us this really cool story about how you were opening for Afroman and got some wristbands to help somebody else out to have probably one of the biggest moments of their life. I mean, what a cool thing. If they're really asking, is because Afroman really was that person in their life, at some point. And so you were able to do that,
Yeah,
and then it turned into like this really cool collaboration. I mean, the give and
it
take of
did.
that, A1. A1.
It's it's a beautiful thing. It's crazy because lately my reach on my Facebook page, and I get a lot of. I don't understand where people lead with hate, or just be bullies, or try to talk down to people. Um, I've been very, very blessed lately. The algorithm gods have been blessing me. This last 2 months, my algorithms have jumped. I was getting about 100 to 150,000 visitors a month to my Skyler Ray page,
Hmm.
and now it's up to 1.9 million visitors in the last 28 days. And then
Whoa.
the previous 28 days was a million. So it hit a million, and then it's been going 1.9 million right now. It currently sits. But
Hey.
once that happened, I started getting some very mean people that don't get me wrong. And I'm just highlighting the mean people. There's so many love and caring people, and doing their thing on my
Mhm.
page. But it's
Mhm.
crazy because some of the ways they hit my DMs are just like, or respond on like certain posts about addiction is absolutely like crazy. Like I feel like I have thick skin, but sometimes I get in my feelings because I'm like, yo, like why you attacking me? Like that. Like
Yeah.
it's so crazy the hate that people lead with, and it blows my mind because I lead with love. So I just don't understand it. Even at my worst, I led with love. So it's just mind boggling. But I get it. I get it. You start reaching millions of people coming to your page, you're gonna get some people that act a fool. But it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart, and especially like if they're trying to tear people down on my page. Um, that's the one thing, like, you could say stuff to me, but, like, you're not gonna tear down my people, you know? Like, I'm not gonna let you, like, soon as I see that, I'm like, "Nope, goodbye, you're out of here." You
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
Yeah, I
I'm
I just
having
wanna see people
flashbacks
happy.
to a Monday show I had not that long ago. I don't know. You probably didn't watch it, but listen, I was just like, "Ooh." Like you can say them, that's cool, cool that, but like the minute that you're gonna turn this out into the comment section, like we out of here, man. Like I sat through it like a good girl, but let me tell you something.
Yeah.
No, we don't have to be friends like that always. Like, sorry, you go do that
I
somewhere else, man.
yeah. It's hard.
You-
It's hard. I don't know. I it
Well,
hurts
it's
my
tough
heart
because
sometimes.
we
Go
lead
ahead.
with, you said you lead with love, and I said like I say my default to love. Like I don't
Yeah.
have to be smiling all the time. We don't have to be super stoked all the time. I'm not a super energetic like "Wah," in your face type of person. I'm pretty casual, and so I've had to explain to people even that are close to me, like, listen, like we're here, which means that I love you. You know, like we're kicking it in a small space a lot. Like that means that I love you. So I don't really need to say hi every time you walk through the door because it should be so casual that you're not really wanting to do that anyway, you know? Like come on in, right? And
Yeah.
so I get that. And like a lot of people don't lead with love. They don't live in that space. And so, you know, if their default is hate, like that's cool because it's a numbers game and it's going to have to look like that sometimes, you know. They just don't have to
It
be
does.
near
It does.
you. Yeah.
And I try not to be judgmental because like even just a couple times in the last like week, there's like someone who's like, "Oh, you addict, you loser, da da da," like talking about all this crazy stuff, and just
Yeah.
bringing down people and like saying like hateful stuff, like "Go kill yourself," different things like that. And like I try not because I've been getting quite a bit of that. People telling me to go kill myself lately.
Yeah.
But it's
Are
crazy
you
because
kidding me?
like no, for real. Like I get the DMs, go kill yourself, go hang yourself, all these crazy stuff. And I'm like, well, I was like, well, I love you anyways. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't need your love, Satan. I roll with God. And I'm thinking, you don't roll with God if you're telling some stranger to kill himself.
Yeah. No.
But I had this one person that was talking crazy to me on like on a post about addiction, and then like a week later, he made a different comment on this same exact post, and
Okay.
he was like, "Man, I need help with my addiction. I just can't seem to get clean. I
Okay.
need support." And I knew like the whole time when he said that the first time, so I went clicked on his profile. I was like, "Oh, this dude's definitely getting high."
Yeah,
Because you can
totally.
see like tweaker photos, the
Mhm.
low light, blurry, and I was like, "Dude's just
Mhm.
angry and like probably trapped in his addiction." And then a week later, he came out and said it, and I was like, and that's another reason why like I want to be careful how I respond, because a
Yeah.
lot of these people are just like hurt, are afraid, or don't know how to get where we're at, so they'd rather try to knock us down and bring us to their
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
And so I try to realize that, and like it gets out of hand, especially like with all these millions of people coming to my page, like in 28 days, it's just the hate messages, everything, and I just got to remind myself to lead with love, and I think that's what's important.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on hitting numbers like that. You deserve
Thank
it.
thank you.
And I guess the thing is like, the more consistent you are and the more that they keep coming to this stuff, that it's up to them. You can lead a horse to water, right? But
You
if
can't
they
make them
can
drink.
see, no, you can't make, no, exactly. You can't make none of them drink. So if and if they see it, I mean, even just a change in the two posts, like I think back to like when I was struggling and when things were really happening. And I wish somebody had been like, maybe not like F you back, but also like
Yeah.
just engaged with me at all. And then that, because then that makes me feel like a little bit important, like, oh, okay, hold on a second here, and I think that sometimes when people like troll and get really into it, I'm like, I wonder if they really just like need that to live another day. Because if that's what it is that's keeping them alive, then like that's cool. Go ahead and troll along and you know what I mean? Like I think some people like that interaction maybe is
Some
the
people
only
are trolls.
interaction they have. Yeah. Like that's it. So
Yeah.
that's cool. Whatever. We can leave them doing
I
their
just
thing.
always, I also, it's so exhausting, like the energy spent on
Mhm.
trying to be hateful or trying to be mean back. And it's
Yeah.
like, it's not a way that, it costs energy to be nice, costs energy to be mean. But why would
Yeah.
I want to spend my energy taking that route? And that's, I've had to
Yeah.
tell a few people, like, I'm being nice, responding nice. Like, I hear you. So, like, reach out if you need a friend. I'm here to listen. And then they
Mhm.
keep going in. And it's just like, eventually I was just like, hey, I know you're looking for me to engage back. But,
Yeah.
I don't choose to engage with negativity.
Yeah.
But if you need a friend or someone to talk to, my inbox is always open. Other than that, you're beautiful. I see your value. You're worth it. And I believe in you. And that's usually how I end it with like the
Yeah.
people trying to. cool. I'm gonna end it on a nice note, and after
Yeah.
that, keep blowing up my algorithms if you want.
Right,
But
totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you want to fill up the comment section, that's cool. Like whatever. Yeah, do your thing. Oh,
yeah,
that's wild. And that's
yeah.
the best part about the algorithm is that people don't realize like even the negative comments are still pushing you into the stratosphere. So,
People are trying to preach hate, and it's like you're just boosting them up the notch.
Yeah.
Keep going, keep going.
Yeah. We hitting 1.9 million, baby. Yeah, go ahead.
Uh,
Man, that's
it's
wild.
so insane. There's been a lot of cool stuff happen in these last few months, and it's something I always grinded for, to have such they're real people, and to have such like an audience that big. Like I'm excited. I'm excited. It's overwhelming. The work that you have to do to put in to get there, especially like recently, like got a brand deal and all this
Mhm.
different stuff like that. So it's like consistent posting this, responding to every comment.
Yeah.
Um, it, it's a lot. It's a lot, and it takes your toll on you. But I don't know. I guess this is what we always wanted, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly. It's what you signed up for. I mean,
yeah.
and you really do it in an authentic way. I always see your comments coming through all the time, and I'm like, man, does this dude sleep like for real? Like, this is wild. Like, Calico said she sent me one thing one day, and she was just like, we got to do it like this. I'm like, no, yeah, I don't even know if we can keep up like that though. Like, like
It's
that's like,
hard. It's hard. So
yeah.
look, I try to respond to every comment, and there's so many
Mhm.
comments coming through that actually got restricted because Facebook just took it as spam. So like I've been blocked a few times just by trying to respond to every comment. So now I hook my Skyler Ray page up to Kayla's account. So therefore now I got
Okay.
double amount of comments that I
Okay.
can do just to keep up, because I'm getting
Okay.
banned for commenting too much. But all I'm doing is responding to the comments that are coming on my page.
Right. Yeah, totally.
Many, and I'm
Totally.
just like, so let me get a double quota what I'm supposed to get. So I'm always hopping. I got my dummy phone with Kayla's accounts hooked on it, so that way I can switch over and I get a brand new set of comments for the day. Yeah, yep, same thing. My other dummy phone's in there, but I got this. So but that's the way to do it though, So
Yeah, totally. Listen, we've been working 2 phones for a minute, like, don't worry about it, It's so funny. It's wild too, like, when because it's the same amount of energy and tenacity that we just put into something positive, and I think that, like, we can say that even to, like, everybody that's chiming in. Thank you for everybody that's chiming in, like, if you take that energy and tenacity that you put into your DOC or trying to cop that DOC, like, it's amazing what happens in the same way that like things started falling apart is the same way they start coming together. And once that ball gets rolling, it's very much just like the snowball effect, like just like boom boom boom, like
I
and
agree.
so reward yourself with that, you guys, like take care of yourself enough so that when those things start happening that you can take advantage of them, because yeah, we all deserve it. We all deserve to be
We all
happy
deserve it,
and
and take
healthy.
time for yourselves. Like
Yeah.
my goal is to go to bed early tonight.
Yeah,
Get
speaking of
up.
which. Right,
Get up,
right,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Get up,
right.
and I'm gonna try to do like an hour without a phone in the morning. Um,
Okay.
try to do that, get a workout in, try to come up with a plan. At least an hour, because I'm in my phone. I wake up in my phone, checking it, responding to comments, go back
Mhm.
to bed. I set alarms for 6 a.m. to get up for post times.
Yeah.
And that's when I gotta do it for like the brand deal, all this different stuff. I gotta check certain messages just in case it's like leads. And so I gotta take the time, but it's like yeah, it's a lot. So take time for yourself.
Take time for yourself, seriously. I've been doing
Yeah.
like the horse thing was the thing that I was like, okay, I'm gonna put this time aside. Like, and then today I actually like found myself, I was like, oh, looking for my tripod. I'm like, why don't I just make content out here? Like, this is cool. Why don't I do? And I was like, no, because then it will never be just for you. Like, put the tripod back.
True.
And like,
True.
like,
True.
no, but who knows? We'll see.
It's hard because like
Yeah.
we work from home.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's like I got the studio at home, I got my print
Mhm.
shop at home, uh, everything's at home. So like when we try to relax, there's such guilt,
Yeah.
and then it's like you never get that weight lifted off you, or that exhaustion taken care of,
Mhm.
because we're watching the show, and then by like the second episode or something, I'm looking over at the studio, and I was like, I have like 6 features I need to get done. I need to do this. I got like 20 orders I need to print up. And so like it's always looking at me in my eye,
Yeah.
telling me like, stop being a bum, stop being lazy.
Yeah.
And so like I never really truly get to relax a lot of times. And so yeah, once you bring your work home, it's hard. It's hard to fully be able to do that. So that's why I'm trying to shift my schedule. Definitely need to start getting back into meditation. Um, just because I feel the exhaustion
Yeah.
of especially everything going on and trying to keep up with the fast pace. So that's why it's like I need that time, I need that sleep. I need like an hour or two without my phone because once 6 a.m. hits, right? Because the brand deal's out of Florida, so it's East Coast time. So I got to
Yeah.
start hopping on at 6 a.m. to start checking stuff.
Hmm.
And then with that, it's like, I never get a chance to be away from my phone. And that's a lot for the mental health.
Listen, like I mean, even just with like the well, Music and Mayhem is another great example. Like you have all these beautiful relationships with like, it's not just you and your wonderful
Yeah.
partner, right? It's like all these other things. So yeah, I don't know. Okay, hold on before we wrap this up because I'm gonna let you get some sleep tonight. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you.
I just yeah, no. Yeah, no, absolutely. Um, I think like a couple of key points that I really wanted to like recap on. One of them obviously is just like giving yourself the credit of getting out there and believing in yourself because you obviously had to do that in order to make it past even those 6 days outside of prison
Yes.
to be like, I got to make these good choices, right? And then recapping a little bit later on and bringing back the vision boards and like some of the basics and the things that worked in the beginning and filtering them throughout your process. And then I guess the other thing would be to like find that thing that you love more than the substance itself, right?
Yes.
Find that thing because you're cool enough, all of you guys are cool enough to have something that's more than you, whether it be music or motocross or whatever
You
you
have
got
to
to
you
do,
have to figure out what your dreams
cooking.
are, and
Hmm.
it's important because we owe it to me. I owe it to that 9-year-old boy who wanted to do music for a living.
Hmm.
And my dreams got robbed due to addiction and the poor choices that I made. And so I tell everybody, like, what were the dreams that you wanted before addiction came in? What were those dreams as a kid that were so big and scary that seemed like you can do it, right? Then that's
Yeah.
all you wanted to do before people told you it was unrealistic. And so, like, we at least owe ourselves a fair shot at it.
Yeah.
And my fair shot was doing it clean
Yeah.
because that was my best opportunity. And that is why I refuse to crumble. And maybe that's why I don't feel triggered as much because my vision is so much louder than any desire to get high. And
Yeah.
that's my motivation that I need to keep going. So, yeah.
Very cool. Beautiful, beautiful. And then the boundaries. Shut your phone off, go to bed, drink some water.
It's so hard. Oh my god. I'm up at like 2, 3 a.m. and I'm just puffing on my vapor, like checking my
Yeah.
phones and using the
Totally.
business suit, make sure I didn't forget no comments. And oh god, yeah.
Like literally
I
my
need to
day.
learn
Yeah. That's so
that.
funny. Oh, that's so funny. I'm having like flashbacks. Honestly, like literally last night, I'm like, oh man, like I know I need to sleep. I know I got things to do tomorrow, da, 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 da. But yeah, they just sit there in the back. And
Yeah.
I'm like, even the challenges, right? They're like, yeah, you did 6 out of the 8. I'm like, don't do me like that. We can't be doing, no, come on. We just need, anyway, so I won't bore anybody with all that
You
nonsense.
you know
But
what's crazy before we go is
mhm,
thinking about doing all the work that you have to do is
yeah,
way more exhausting sometimes than actually doing the work.
totally.
There's days
Yeah.
where I'm lazy and I feel like I'm just crumbling and the weight is too much to actually go out there and do what I'm supposed to do.
Hmm.
Um, and I get so tired and I need a nap sometimes just by thinking about how far I am behind, And then like I'll get in the mood and I'll knock out like 5 or 6 things and I'm just zooming around the house. I'm like, oh geez, this is actually not hard at all.
Oh my
You
God.
know?
Calico, like, so we used to talk every day, and we still do,
Yeah.
I guess, text. But let me tell you, when her and I get on a video call, like not only do we knock out like 3 weeks worth of Pinecase stuff, we like our dishes are done, our house is clean. I'm just like, okay, we're cool, right? And really it just started like with me
Yeah.
staring at one thing that said I needed to post one reel. Mind you, I got like 800 reels like just sitting in the background, already like tagged, ready to go. I just got to hit post, and I've been staring at it for like
Yeah.
a good 6 days. Like, no, I don't know. I gotta write the post, and like, no, like AI will do all of that. Just chill out, make a tea,
Yeah.
get it done, and then like 20 minutes later, we banged out like a whole week's worth of stuff. I'm like sending everybody their links and ready to go. Like, it's so funny. Hey, focus on what you guys need to do
It's
and stop being overwhelmed. It's
yeah.
not that big of a deal. Calico says that guided meditation.
I'm telling you, when I was doing my yogas in the morning, I got a gym here at the house, and we got the mats, and I got the TV on the wall, and I like turn the lights real low and just kind of have my eyes closed and listen to the instructor on the TV. And and my mental health is usually good for the day. I feel pumped, you know, a good little anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes, little light stretches, and just kind of listening to things and focusing and like listening to my body, my heart, and feeling like on stretch, like where the tension is and letting go and deep breathing. Yeah, I agree. I need to get back to it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to hold you to it. I'm going to check in a little while and be like, have you been doing your guided meditation?
You should see results. I'm pretty committed because I don't like where I'm at mentally from the exhaustion. So I need to do that for myself. So check in with me. I'll make sure I do it.
I will. Yeah, I will for sure. You know what's funny is that we have a lot of people that call the warm line that just say like, listen, I can't get grounded. I can't get focused. And I'm like, it sounds really weird. And I know that it sounds easier than you think it is. But if you just have like peanut butter and cheese for breakfast for the next like 6 days, and they're like, what? And I'm like, just do that and then call me back, you know? And then like people are like, what? And then they call me back and they're like, just the thought of thinking about that and like having a small term goal and hitting that goal made me feel better. I'm like, I know, listen, like, and also like, it also produces, you know, dopamine like that. There's food that triggers that. So there's like a little bit of a secret into it, which is why it works. But I know that there's people out here. Jason from CMC is in the comments and he's a massive fan of yours. And so to hear you say your routine that works, I'm sure he'll appreciate that. I know there's a lot of other people that are going to appreciate it and I'm going to hold you to it. So you know, no big deal.
Thank you so much. And anybody watching in the comment section, guys, I absolutely love you. You don't have to be watching this right now. You are. So thank you for taking the time out of your day to spend it watching us and showing love and support. And tap in with me, guys. Send a message if you guys ever just want to chit chat or just tell me what's going on or just want to talk to me. I'm always here for you guys.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much. Where can they find you? I mean, it's pretty obvious that Skyler Ray pretty much down the board, but
yes, indeed.
Right,
just type in Skyler Ray basically on every single platform. I will come up. My website's also right below my name where you can get my merch on my platforms, everything like that. So make sure you guys go check it out. You guys will see me on every platform. So reach out.
Awesome. Yeah, go. Don't sleep on it. I mean, I preach it a lot. I mean, everybody now knows that I'm a huge fan. I said you guys got your naloxone kit, your first aid kit, and Skyler Ray up in your playlist. It's a fundamental piece of what we promote, what we talk about, what we do around here. You are a beautiful example of all of that stuff. Before we wrap it up, I'm going to quickly let people know where they can go ahead and find naloxone kits. It's really easy these days, you guys. It's just at the pharmacy. Ask for 1 or 2. Make sure that you're storing them properly and that you have the right amount because you might need 2 or 3 or 4 kits, depending on whether you have the nasal sprays or the injectables. Calico is going to go ahead and hit you guys in the comments with the information that you need. You can go ahead and reach out to us at 250-289-3948 for more details about that. The other thing too, real quickly, the numbers, the phone has been pretty busy lately. So it's #988 you guys for the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. That's the same for you guys down in the States. It's hashtag or pound for the old folks. 988, and that will put you through to the professionals. We need you guys all here. It's one big community and you guys are all very important. So make sure that you have the numbers and the resources that you need, whether it be us or anybody else, to do it one day at a time, just like you were saying. Super important. We love you guys all.
Absolutely.
Take care of each other and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Please stay strong. Stay
The
strong.
further you take my rights away, I'ma run to it, refuse to hear my voice. Speak loud when I spit it, but you don't get it. You just wanna be a side critic. See somebody else showing hate in the side of the road with it. Now how would you feel standing on the sideline and watch the color of a nation deteriorate over time? The flag real high, but compassion 6 feet below. Now you're searching for that justice that decided to never show. Deny my place, I'm back with a trace. Keep up the pace, tight lace, game face. Get back in the race. Whatever they did could never be undone. Every dark night ends with the rising of the sun. Squandered every wealth that's built from the mud. Squandered every wealth that's built from the blood. squandered every wealth that's built in chains, stolen from the ancestors,
With
running
the
through my
strength
veins.
of 1,000 lion and the strength of 1,000 giant, please stay strong. Please stay strong. With the strength of 1,000 elephant and the strength of 1,000 tiger, we stay strong. We stay strong. We stay strong.
I can see, run to the light at the end of the tunnel winner.
We stay strong.
I can't breathe, we're gonna get oxygen without the justice system.
We stay strong.
And I know, gotta keep my head together.
We stay strong.
Don't doubt me, please don't doubt me.
We stay strong.
Tell me how can we be strong if we still shooting? Tell me how can we be strong if we still looting? Tell me how can we be strong if we still hating? Please tell me now, please.